Okay, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Cads, Football Cads, should I call? Sorry, I'm used to saying my other channel name. It's Football Cads. This is my new page where we talk about all things football as a United fan, but probably mainly United as I'm most clued into that. But also, I am dialed into the world of football in general. So let's see what we learned about United with the Brentford situations. Right, okay, so it's unacceptable at the minute, and I feel like we're getting a lot of people just kind of thinking that we're okay. We're happy with this situation, and quite honestly, we're not. I'm not, and I'm sure many fans aren't either. The way we're losing games in the Premier League is unacceptable, first and foremost. Okay, I understand there's context and there's situation to all of this, but it is unacceptable, and any United fan with pride will not be happy at where we are. And also being the fact that we're talking about, we're putting it all into Europa League. That will, save our season. That will fix us. And I know not everybody thinks that. But it's not the case, is it? To be honest with you, finishing 17th and winning Europa League to get into Champions League with a better transfer window is positive, but it's not okay. And quite honestly, sorry, I got the hiccups. Quite honestly, I think a lot of fans feel the same way about that. I mean, it's not like we've got a crazy injury crisis. Ineos, by switching managers to Ruben Amorim with this different style of football, who is adamant on it and won't change it, then we're not really seeing it work too much in the Premier League. Like, we're seeing glimmers of it. It does work. I mean, we're getting beat with 5 at the back still. So I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, well, hang on a minute. If Ruben Amorim's style was like this and it was all about the wing backs going forward, but we were just, until we get the wing backs, we're just going to sit at a 5 back, and we were conceding like little to next to no goals this season, but losing by 1 or winning or drawing, you'd be like, okay, cool, well, we're sitting a 5 back, but once he gets those attacking players, we'll be fine. But that's not the case, is it? We are losing by a lot of goals. We're minus goal difference again this season. Now, I believe Ten Hag had to go. I don't believe Ten Hag had to go in the middle of the season. I think that might have been. I mean, at first, I don't want to contradict myself or other fans either, but at first you're kind of like, well, it can't be much worse. Like, Ten Hag is just running us down. Little did we know it was going to get worse. So now looking back on it, you're like, well, actually, it probably would have been better to keep Ten Hag. But, with all the hype around this manager, I was like, surely he's going to get better results out of these players. Maybe we'll get a cup. Maybe we get in a final. But, maybe we'll finish like, 5th or 6th. Because a lot of fans were like, well, look, we understand it's going to be hard and we're not going to be fighting for top 4 possibly with a new manager because it's a new system. So we'll accept the fact that it's going to take some time and it's going to be difficult. But I don't think anybody thought how shit we were or shit we are right now. I didn't think anybody sort of thought that when they said, "Don't worry, we'll accept a 6th place in a Europa League." That's a whole different conversation now, isn't it, with Mourinho, where we were 6th and we were like, oh, it's okay, we'll take 6th because we're all going for the Europa League. It's the same conversation, but it's not, because we're looking at finishing 17th possibly. It's a joke, really. I mean, what we did learn is that these players have the ability to fight. Right, and I think that as United fans, that's all we really want, isn't it? Our players to fight. I mean, it looked like many times over the last few years that the team just gives up and we go 1-0 down, we lose concentration, and then we just get battered up and down the pitch. Now, we wanted a team that fights. Maybe that's Amorim installing that into our team. So maybe that is kind of like what we have been asking for. And it's a bit hard without Amorim having a transfer window and his own players to sort of judge him on that sort of aspect. But, the conversation, the pundits, you don't want to agree with the pundits because they do they just like to talk hate on United, but you do have to understand that even probably deep down, I did think we were going to get a bit more out of these players, or we were going to be like maybe 8th again this season. But I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I can't take it anymore. I am sick of this. It's horrible, man. Honestly, every United fan feels the same, just sucked soulless, like, comfortable, feeling numb. You know what I'm saying? Finding comfort in numbness. That's what it feels like at the minute. But sorry, let me just get my breath. I'm just having my mind is just racing with anger. No, but Garnacho scored a beautiful goal to make it 4-2. I like the goal that Mason Mount scored. I thought that was really nice build-up play where Kobe Mainoo was involved in that build-up, chipped the ball over to Garnacho. Garnacho crossed it in first time. Mason Mount got on the end of it. That's the 10s. Look, that you see how important the 10s can be. And then and then Brentford kind of press really high. One thing I am getting sick of though is this whole passing around the back malarkey. I'm looking at the back line where you will have Yoro stretched right out to the directly sideways to the goalkeeper, and then you're looking at Brentford and we're like sitting back and they've got time to play up the field, and I'm just like, they're pushing up so high and trying to win the ball back, get those second ball, win those second balls up in the top area. Where's the common sense? Where's the okay, let's not play out from the back on this match because Brentford are pushing real high. Let's just ping it. It's like FIFA, man. If someone's pressed me real high, I'm just going to ping that ball or pass it to the wide player and then get it pinged up. You know what I'm saying? But they were pressing us straight away. So as soon as that ball went out to Yoro, and Bumo was pressing right up the front, or I can't remember the name of the other Brentford players, but, they were pushing us right up the front. So just long ball it, mate. Do you know what I mean? And just win that second ball back in their half. But anyway, so I don't think this passing around the back malarkey works, and I'm thinking it's got to be the manager saying that as well. So I'm not hating on Ruben Amorim in that sense, but we're learning that maybe that could be part of the manager's idea, which I think I'm not sure if he understands. I'm not sure he understands the speed of the Premier League when I see things like that, because I would have thought that maybe. I know it's a different adjustment from the Portuguese league, of course, to the Premier League. So look, okay, they play really fast balls. Maybe we'll stop trying to play out from the back so technical, and maybe start figuring out different ways to get that ball up a bit higher up the pitch, maybe. But anyway, who knows? Maybe it's the players are finding it hard to adjust to this system. Maybe it's not. It's obviously not all Ruben Amorim, of course, but maybe they're finding it difficult to understand. Maybe these players are just that bad. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the players being that bad. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm a bit worried that we'll get these players in next season and it'll maybe be the same. But, I guess that's a risk you have to take. But yeah, so we learned that we are learning that I feel we are building better attacking systems. I have seen that. I'm seeing more balls into the box. So I'm seeing progression, but it's slow. Maybe that's the speed it's going to have to take at the minute. But I'm seeing slow progression. I'm seeing we're getting more goals by the wingers. The wing backs are putting balls in, which, the more balls you put in. I mean, you look at a lot of the goals we conceded over this season, or like set pieces and stuff. A lot of people are getting luck with us on, pinging balls into the box. Now, obviously, if you've got a team with really tall defenders, it's not going to work as well. Probably like an Everton, that's not the way to do it. But I feel like, I watch games of United, and I'm sure as fans as well. I mean, it's not easy. It's probably easier said than done, but you can always see the kind of problems on the pitch as we're watching it and going, why don't they just do that? Why don't they just do this? And it feels like sometimes it's just simple little decisions that these players should be making on the pitch. And I know it's completely different, and probably being on the pitch is just easier said than done, right? I get that. So I'm not going to sit here from a fucking my home and start criticising on that stuff. But also at the same time, it's like, mate, we're 17th pretty much. We're not yet. We're 15th. But come on, these players are better than 15th place. These players are better than 15th place, and I don't think anybody, as a United fan, believes that we are that bad. We can't be that bad. I'm sorry. Like, I remember thinking to myself, I put a prediction we'd finish top 3 this season, before it started. I was like, right, we got a good transfer window. We got De Ligt, Mazraoui, Xerxes, Yoro. I thought we got a bit more strength at the back there. Højlund was kind of coming into his own towards the end of that season as well. So I thought, yeah, we're going to be real good. And it just fell apart again. It's just constant. I mean, it's every season. I feel like as a United fan, you're going, yeah, it's going to be better this time. It's going to be good. You can see the kind of progression. And it's always blind faith, because you get into the next season and they just disappoint you again. They just disappoint you. They make stupid errors, make stupid mistakes. And that's life as a United fan, to be honest with you. You just fucking think of it, to be honest. But anyway, guys, like I said, so this is the football channel anyway. So this is what this is going to be about. We're going to have conversations as well. And obviously, once the channel starts to grow, once I start throwing out more content, we can have sort of debates. But I liked the first goal. The second goal by Garnacho was a fucking lovely goal, that was. I mean, Garnacho was really running around the pitch that game as well, in the Brentford game. He was really trying to come back. I really respected that as well. He got a lot of hate, but I thought he was really... I know his decision-making can be a bit daft sometimes, but he really fought to get us back in the game, I felt. He kind of carried the energy for a while. And then Amad Diallo gets goal number 3, where it kind of goes for the keeper's legs. But, that's... I mean, that goal that we conceded with Fredrickson at the back, Amad Diallo should have been going back to help, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like he could have done better there, Amad Diallo. So he looked like he wasn't too bothered about going back in defence. Which, I saw a thing about Arne Slot saying to Salah that, like, the conversation, like, he said, look, boss, if I don't have to defend, just let me up front. If I don't have to do my defensive duties, I'll make it up to you by getting goals back. I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but more or less leave Salah up there, let him do his bit, and he'll get the goals. Maybe Amad Diallo's kind of thinking like that I don't want to have to do any defensive work, but leave me up front and I'll get us some goals. But I don't know. I feel like with us at the minute, we need to be more working as team goals rather than individual goals. But I suppose you need a healthy balance of both. If you've got a player like Garnacho who feels confident at a time and he pings that ball in, it's just like, oh, okay, sick, it works out, so you feel happy. And the scoreline looks a lot less shit than what it was, 4-1. So, but I mean, it's the same old thing again. We can't be losing games like this in the Premier League. We just can't be doing that. And I'm not having a lot of faith going into next season, to be honest, because of that. So I felt like if we were seeing slow progression in the league and we were kind of slowly climbing our way up with some of our players, I feel like maybe we'd be all right. And I'm still not obviously entirely. I don't make it a big conversation, but I'm still not entirely convinced about this three at the back situation. But, I suppose that's an argument for a different day. And I don't know. I just feel like it's different, isn't it? And it's a different system to what we usually see in the Premier League. And we're bottom of the table. So it's not great, is it? You can't help but think, oh, is it the system? But, I think Ruben Amorim gets a lot of backing from us as us fans. And I back him. Because I think when I see him in press conferences and I'm fed up of what I'm seeing on the pitch, I look at his face and he kind of looks exactly the same, and he's not trying to spin me with some, it's okay, we did really good. He would just be like, it went great. Although, he did say Mason Mount did really well, which I suppose I didn't really think Mason Mount did that well, to be fair. But anyway, I suppose you can't hate on him completely. He already called them the worst team ever. So I suppose he's got to give out some positivity, isn't he, at some point? But I'll tune back in with you guys tomorrow anyway for some more content, see what the updates are. I'll come back with you with all the latest football news that I can find as and when it comes, so that we have a place that we can talk about certain situations of football news. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.